That's it, friend? Yes.
Bet you're looking for something new. Hey girls, welcome back to another video. Today I have a tutorial and it's just this very fun and bright eye look. I'm not showing you the face or the eyebrows, just a really bright, fun eyes. It's just a very neutral eye with a little wing with a very bold pop of color on the lower lash line. So today's video is going to be a collaboration with ZeeZeexoxo. Her channel will be linked somewhere over here, as well as the down bar down below. She is going to be doing the summer outfits for this video. I'm doing the summer makeup look or just the eye look. If you want to know how to do the face makeup, I have a separate video on that. I will link that down in the down bar below. It is my summer bronze makeup tutorial. A couple disclaimers before I get into this video. Up close, my eyebrows are gonna look so bad. It's because I recently filmed this video, like literally like an hour ago, realized I was out of focus for the whole thing. So then I had to redo it because I wasn't satisfied with it. So I had to take off the makeup and then put it back on really quickly before like the sun really now, as you can tell, it's like sunny one minute and then shady the next. So I wanted to get all my makeup off and then put it on as fast as I possibly could. So my eyebrows got a little bit disturbed in that process of taking off my eye makeup. So this eyebrow is going to look pretty wonky. This one's going to look decent. This one's going to look really weird up close. And another disclaimer is I am zoomed in all the way with my camera when I film this tutorial. So if I'm slightly out of frame or my lower lash line's out of frame, or if it's not in focus all the way, which I'm pretty sure it is, I apologize. But without further ado, let's hop into this makeup tutorial before I make this intro too long. So before actually you watch this tutorial, pause, open another tab, go subscribe to ZeeZeexoxo. She is so adorable and, you know, she's from Jamaica, I'm pretty sure, so that's pretty cool too. So link on the screen down below, check her out, and now let's get into this tutorial. I've already done one eye, so I'm going to move on to this eye. So I've already started off by priming my eyes with Urban Decay Primer Potion. What this does is it pretty much just preps your eyes for any eyeshadows. It prolongs the longevity of the shadow, really makes the shadow more vibrant and prevents creasing. So the main eyeshadows for the lid look will be coming from the Too Faced Pretty Rebel eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to start off by taking Dainty, which is a matte ivory eyeshadow, and this is just going to neutralize the lid, hide any veins, hide any discoloration, imperfections on the lid, as well as make a nice base for our eyeshadows. So just applying this all over the lid, up into the brow bone. What I'm going to be doing is moving on to a crease color. I'm going to be taking Charming, which is just a very nice matte chocolate brown, and just a fluffy crease brush. I'm going to slightly tap my brush into the product and slowly start working this into the crease with a very, very light hand. This eyeshadows are very pigmented, so you want to make sure you don't pick up a lot of product on your brush. Just very, very lightly. So now moving on to the outer corner, just going to be taking an e.l.f. blending brush as well as Gangsta, which is just another chocolate brown shade with some gold flecks. Picking up a slight amount of product, applying this to my outer corner, and this is just going to define the look. We're trying to keep the eyeshadows on the eyelid very neutral, very natural, because what we're going to be doing is really harshly defining or boldly defining the lower lash line. Then I'm going to slightly blend this into the crease. Not a lot, just like a really small, a little bit, like about halfway into the crease. And then taking a large fluff brush, tapping off any excess product, and just blending those two together. And then I'm going to be taking Dainty again, and just highlighting my brow bone. Okay, so now for the all over lid color, I'm going to be taking Ringleader with a really nice fluff brush. This is just a really large fluffy brush, and I'm going to pack that shade onto the lid. not really going too far into the outer corner, but not going too far into the inner corner. So just trying to focus it right on the center and slightly into the inner corner. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the lower lash line. So the first thing you want to be doing is taking a eyeshadow base, because we're going to be using some vibrant shadows and we really want to make sure they stick to the lower lash line as well as appear as vibrant as they possibly can. So just taking my NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk and a very small kind of liner brush. Just swirling my brush into the pencil and applying this to the inner corner as well as the lower lash line. So moving on to the shadows that we're going to be applying on the lower lash line, we're going to be taking a bright yellow and a couple bright blues. You can find these colors pretty much anywhere, so if you're trying to stay on like an affordable budget, what I'd recommend is getting the Wet n Wild, I can't talk today, I'm so sorry, the Wet n Wild 8-pan eyeshadow palette that has all the very bright colors, that has the bright blues, has the bright yellows, but if you want, you can also go to Sephora or MAC and they'll obviously have those there as well. So starting off with this very vibrant lemon yellow shade, and what brush am I using? This brush, which is just a very small fluffy brush, applying this into the inner corner and on the first third of the lower lash line. And what I love about this look is that you can customize it. Like, you can make this as vibrant or subtle as you want. I love having a bold lower lash line if I'm going to do color on there. So I'm going to pack on the color, but you could also just apply a very sheer wash as well. So now moving on to the blue shades, you're going to be needing to take a mint and an aqua, or any blues you pretty much have. You don't even need to do yellow and blue. You can do like purple and like pink. But I just think for the summer, it's just like, it's like a sunset in the ocean. It's fun. So I'm going to be taking the mint shade on a very small, dense smudge brush. Picking up quite a bit of product since I really want this to stand out on the lower lash line. And really press it into my lower lash line, just so it really adheres to the lower lash line and it appears vibrant. But again, like I've mentioned, you can apply just a very sheer wash of color. And you want to apply this to the second third of the lower lash line. And then blend it in with the yellow using the fluffy shade brush. Now on the outer portion of the lower lash line, so the last third of the lower lash line, I'm going to be taking this aqua blue shade on the same smudgy brush and just smudge that onto the outer portion of the lash line, and then blending it in with the mint blue. Just like this. It's very simple. It looks very technically advanced, but it's so simple. It's a very nice ombre. It's perfect for summer. It's pop of color, it's bold, it's fun, it's exciting, and it's also just very simple to do and easy to do. So I'm not going to apply any mascara on the lower lash line just because I really want the lower lash line to speak for itself. So I'm not going to apply any liner or any mascara. What we could also do is you could take a very nice cobalt blue or a nude onto your lower waterline, and that could also add a little bit of color, but I'm just going to keep it like it is. So now I'm going to move on to some gel liner. This is just going to be for tight lining my upper waterline or lash line, whatever you prefer to call it. This is just my NYX Black Gel Liner. It's not my favorite. It's probably because I've had it for a couple of years, so it's kind of starting to get dry. But then I'm going to be taking a very small angled detail brush for the eyes, and I'm just going to use this to tight line my eyes. So now that is done, I'm going to be setting that with my Urban Decay Naked palette and the shade Crave. This is just the Basics palette. I don't think I mentioned the Basics part, but Urban Decay Basics palette. And a very just wide flat liner brush. This is perfect for pressing any shades into the lower lash line or upper waterline. So just taking Crave and just setting the gel liner just because we don't want any transferring or smudging throughout the day. Now the last step to this look is going to be doing some nice winged liner. I'm going to be taking my e.l.f. liquid liner and just doing a very small subtle wing.
You wish that you had played me now.
So I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Again, I apologize for slightly being out of frame, possibly out of focus, and for my wonky looking eyebrows. It doesn't showcase my abilities too well as a makeup artist because my eyebrows look really wonky, and I feel just sometimes my camera picks up a lot of imperfections of my makeup, so I'm gonna look very orange probably too, so I won't be surprised. But I swear in real life I can do makeup. Like, I swear on my life. So, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, comment any video suggestions, check out ZeeZeexoxo, and I will talk to you in my next video. Mwah. Love you!